Welcome into a special edition of the Holt Naylor Show. Winston Wright, Chase Sowell joined the pod, the playmakers of the Pirates right now. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always.
Holt Naylor turns, and Holt will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holt Naylor's to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5, touchdown Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
And welcome back in Chase Sowell, Winston Wright. Welcome to the show, boys.
Yeah, appreciate being
having
here.
us.
Let's go. Y'all are putting up some crazy numbers right now, man. It has to feel good.
Man, it feels great. First I just want to thank the fans obviously for coming out. Couldn't do it without the O-line. Quarterbacks, my brothers. Like Winston, and all the guys around me. So it feels good that we got this thing rolling now.
For sure. Winston, this is your first year here. Obviously, Chase was here last year. What are your thoughts of the season? First of all, it's been a whirlwind. Mm-hmm. You all have been playing great all year. I break down the film each week, and the whole time I've been like, dude, our receivers are good. Like, it's eventually going to click, and it kind of seems like it is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so first year being here, I love the relationships. I got with my brothers, Coach Rob, the receivers. We just having fun right now.
Yes, sir. Caden?
I got to ask, you guys... This receiving core is fun to watch. All you guys are just great. It's hard as a former quarterback myself. It's usually have one guy, but you guys have 3, 4, even down the list. Even the guys who don't play as much are really exciting to watch as well. How do you guys stay competitive? Internally, are you guys fighting? I see you have more yards, you have more catches, you have the higher NCAA rating. Do you guys compete like that, or how do you guys compete internally with each other?
I mean, I think we all really support each other.
Yeah.
It comes down to more our rooms. I mean, you guys kind of know how it is.
Yeah.
Once you're in the locker room, it kind of comes down to, I hate to say it this way, but you're just more close with your room than everybody else. So
for sure.
When we're doing things or making plays, we're just happy for each other.
Do you guys trash talk about the ratings on the video games or the yards or the catches?
Nah, not really. I don't really get into all that for real.
Yeah, I would say how we compete, just go to practice every day and just keep each other up and make plays in practice, and it leads to the game. And then with all of our receivers, it just depends on what play is called, and you just got to make the play. So
you're talking about, you literally started off, both of you talked about Coach Rob already, and we were talking about off air about it. It's talk about his relationship with y'all. Y'all are both transfers that came here, and he recruited you here. So first of all, he's a great recruiter. Yeah. And then all we've heard is good things. He's produced really good receivers since he's been here. So what is y'all's relationship with him?
Oh yeah, Coach Rob, man, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Just the relationship he has with the players is you can relate to him. And then we can talk to Coach Rob about anything, off the field, on the field, but just as a coach, man, he emphasized the details that we need. Whether you have a good game, bad game, he gonna find something you can get better at. So I think that's what makes him a good coach. And then, like I said, he's young, so he's very into it. So you're not kind of getting no old coach and stuff like that.
I get it. We had an old coach. We were cool with our old coach, but
yeah.
you having a young coach, you can always relate to him a little bit more. You can go to him, and he can come to you and just connect a little bit.
And he
more.
also played the position. So
That's
he recently that too, where you can sit there and you're like, okay, well, you actually do understand. You didn't play it 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Chase, what about you?
For me, it was obviously, like you said, I'm a transfer.
Yeah.
So my situation at my old school obviously didn't work out how I thought it would. Coming into the transfer portal or going into the transfer portal, I was just looking for just a coach that kind of wanted me for me, wanted me to build that relationship with them before just me as a player, and really wanted to get to know me. So when Coach Roberts hit me up, the first thing he said to me was how are you doing and how's my shoulder and everything, because I had just had labrum surgery early that year. So he was just looking out for me, and then he had asked about my mom, my dad, because he wanted to talk to them. And then he just started getting into the details, telling me that he played at VTech. And he just, every day, he just stayed on it, just trying to build that relationship. And I think that was a big thing for me coming into this, because that's all I wanted, was just that opportunity that somebody really believes in me. And he believes in all of us, and he tells us that every day. He believes that we're the best people on this planet, and we believe that for real. So he instills great things into us, and wouldn't choose another coach for real.
That's big time. That's having a coach that like believes in you as a person and like you truly believe is like a good person too. Like also allows him to be hard on you and you not take it personally. And like that's very big.
Yeah, like I think me and Coach Roberts, like, I mean, you've probably seen it before sometimes. Me and Coach Roberts, we've gotten into it on the sideline a couple times. But
I know a guy.
Yeah,
a couple times. But you know how it is.
Yeah.
Like you just in that intense moment and things aren't going your way. And he takes like a step back to kind of realize like I was a player one time and I understand like how you feel, where you're coming from. So he takes a step back to really calm you down and really like talk to you and like understand where you're coming from, because like yelling and stuff is cool, but if you don't have a point behind it, then there's no point in yelling.
Yeah, communication is key. And like me, you know, Donnie Kirkpatrick, he like I was really close with him, and he was my OC for 4 years, quarterback coach, and like we would get heated, but like at the end of it, we'd be like love you and like just know it, and you'd be like cool with it, and that's just But then there's coach player relationships that can't do that, and they just scream at each other and hate each other. That's totally different than like what you're talking about with Coach Rob. You're in your last year, you know, it's winding down. And I remember like my senior year, you kind of just start reflecting like the later it gets in the season. You're like, dude, then you start hearing stuff with scouts and you start, you know, thinking about the future like that. Like, where's your mindset right now with the future and being, you know, right where your feet are? Because, you know, it's everyone says I'm right where my feet am, but at the same time, like, you want to play in the NFL, you know, clearly you have it tatted on you, and like, you know, I'm sure that's a dream of yours. So just like, how are you managing that right now?
Right. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, like me and my dad, you know, we real close, man. And he sends me something inspirational every day. So really, man, how my mindset is, I know a lot of things going on, you know, it's time to, you know, I'm talking to a lot of agents and stuff like that. My coaches, you know, giving me feedback, but I'm really just trying to have fun. I mean, we got, three games left. I know we're going to go to a bowl game, but really just trying to have fun and hang out, because I feel like I got a lot of, you know, friends in the league and stuff. So when you get to the league, it's nothing but business. So that's what we've been our receiver group, we've been hanging out crazy lately.
Literally
so,
every weekend.
Like every week, like we just, you know, go get something to eat, just laugh. So I'm really just trying to just build those relationships, man, and just have fun. And I think everything else gonna take care of itself.
Yeah, dude. Pro ball, and Kate, I'll let you ask a question here, saying, but like college, and I would talk about you this, and I'll talk about Grace, my fiance, with it all the time, is like when you're in college, you just don't realize how good you had it. When you're like, you're with the boys, dude, and like,
you don't.
And then even when you get pros, like you'll hang out with your teammates a little bit after, but like they have families, and then like, dude, even going in public's not the same, because like the big guys, like you can't really go in public. You can't go do anything. You can't just go, you know, hang out, go get some food, or without people coming up to you, like, which obviously are like Greenville famous, like East North Carolina famous, but like you play for the Dallas Cowboys is a little bit different. So, okay, when you have.
Yeah, so this season, you know, you guys, I think the biggest thing was offensive consistency. We'd have a big game, and then, you know, you have a good half, and we just couldn't, you know, do that repetitively over and over. But the past 2 weeks, everyone's been pumped. I mean, watching you guys, it's just been consistent after consistent, and it seems like, you know, you guys are having a lot of fun out there. What has changed in the last 2 games? First, maybe the first few games.
I got throwing the ball.
I would say I don't really think nothing has changed, because I mean, you looking out. I mean, depending on how the game goes, like, you're not gonna have a perfect game every game. I mean, you know that. I mean, you can practice good, but I mean, that just gives you an opportunity to go out there and play. I don't really think nothing has changed. I just think, you know, during what, you know, just happened, it just made the team closer. So when you know, get closer together, like, it allows you to play harder. I think that's what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, I think, like you kind of said, like, I think our team is just playing harder. I don't think really anything changed. And not harder as in, like, we're not giving effort. As harder as, like, we're playing more loose, we're playing more free. You know, you don't got to worry about things. You know, like, when your coach says, like, you don't got to think, you could just do. So, like, we can just go out there and do it, because, I mean, Coach Baker, he's done a great job of simplifying stuff for us. Coach Roberts done a great job of simplifying stuff for us. So, like, when we go out there, all we just got to do is just go 100%.
Be yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, I can go out there and be myself without having to worry about, oh, you messed up on this or you messed up on that. Like,
yeah, it's the worst place you can be as an athlete, just like trying to look over your shoulder, worrying about like nitpicky things. Just go out there and just play.
Yeah,
that was a huge thing though, because me and Holton went through the same thing. You know, our coach got fired.
Yeah.
And that was our biggest question mark for the team. Was this going to do one or two things? Obviously, one, they're either going to come together and play lights out, which you guys have been doing, or we only had one game left, so it was a little bit different. When that happened to us, it was
everyone just gave up.
We knew it was coming, like the whole season, and everyone pretty much gave up after we knew we weren't bowl eligible. So that was like the biggest thing. We were wondering after the firing happened, how would these guys respond? And oh my God, you guys have responded amazing. We got to keep that
definitely. Up. Everybody's responded.
Coaching change is tough though. I mean, especially like it was so early on that like you guys still had, and like we talked about on the podcast before, is like you guys are still going to have a really good season, and like you guys still had you have a chance to like make. I know it's a long shot, but you could still make the conference championship if y'all went out and like. I think that was what was hard about, like, I know some of the guys were, like, pretty mad about Coach Houston being fired, and we were, too, as former players, but, like, how was the mindset of, like, how long do you think it took to just say, like, the sadness, the madness of it, to turn it around and be like, all right, we still got 6 games left. We got to go play now. We'll figure that out after. Let's go.
Yeah, when that happened, I think, everybody, including myself, had your own feel about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you don't really got time to kind of, you got to keep going. I mean, he would want us to keep going. I mean, if you want to play pro, this happen all the time. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's part of the business. We understand it. I mean, we still love Coach Houston, man, miss him. But
for real.
I feel like the team, the people that been here, like Tay, Rob, all those, like Eli, like they did a good job, just keeping everybody together and stuff like that. They've been here, 5 years? So, I think they did a good job, keeping everybody together.
Heck yeah.
I think for me, it was mostly just having that, like, already having that experience of like going through like getting a coach fired and how the season went.
I went through it in
that.
high school.
So,
dang, for real?
My senior year too.
Man, so it was like I already kind of knew how it went.
Yeah.
And like when it happened, it was kind of just like, okay, now we just got to go back to work. Like things are gonna happen. I mean, just like a starter can go down and you could be the guy next up. So you just got to keep going. So it's like the next man up, and we just got to keep rolling, and that's what we're doing right now. And that's all I wanted, like seeing from the guys, and that's what's kind of excited me to play, like kind of just more, like have more fun with this and enjoy it, and enjoy it with my brothers and stuff like that, because like we were saying, like he's about to go to the draft after this year, so I just want to enjoy my time while I have it, and that's one of the big things.
Yeah, and I think we got good coaches too, like the offensive staff. I can't
just as
speak for the defense.
Too.
Well, I can speak because we talk, but we're not in the room with them. But like the offensive staff, like they've been positive, like
always.
From Coach Baker to running back coach, O-line coach, receiver coach, tight end coach, like GAs. Like I think like we got a chance to reflect on the beginning of the season, and then I think they did a good job of just making everything simple, so you don't go out there thinking, you out there playing more faster.
So. I'm sure it was eye-opening for like us, even as you're like, wow, it really is a business. Like you're talking about, like, dude, with pro ball, like, and you'll learn this probably of your first week in pro balls, like you'll have a locker next to someone and like be friends with them, be close with them, and be like, dude, this is a guy that like he's gonna mentor me or something. Maybe it's an old guy. And then, like, next day he's cut.
Gone,
And you're like, wait, where's he? And you're like, where's his stuff? Or like, oh, he got cut during meetings. You're like, I ain't going to say bye to him. And then, like, hopefully this doesn't happen to you. But then, like, the next day it's me getting cut. And I'm like, dang, bro. And the guy I got cut for was the guy that I was sad about leaving. They brought him back and cut me.
That's how it goes. It's like, it's just a business.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, you'll learn it quick. But it's just like, we were talking about special teams. Dude, it's just like grind on special teams. You're obviously, a very good special teams player. No matter how you're on a roster, if you're on a roster, you're making money.
That's kind of what I did at Colorado. I mean, I played, I think, all 4. Yeah, pretty much. Like I tried to play on every special teams I could, because when I first got in there, I was running with like the threes, with like the walk-ons and like kind of the lower like skill players. I guess you could say, but I mean everybody's talented, but I just started getting on special teams, and that's when they kind of started seeing me and putting me in personnels and putting me on the offense, and that kind of helped me build their trust. Yeah. And so that's like always been my motto. Just like get on the field where you can.
100%. In college too, it's just like you work your way up, and then eventually you're balling. Okay,
You know who's a big special teams guy?
You.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. He was a walk-on quarterback and played special teams. He would be the like this. During practice, he'd be the scout team kick returner. He'd be out there returning kicks. That's probably why we sucked.
That is probably why we sucked. But I took a couple back.
This podcast is brought to you by Worth Chiropractic. 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard. Call 1-800-BACK-DOC for any normal back and neck pain, or if you're a former athlete like me and Caden are, now in our corporate lives, you sit at a computer all day, you sit like this, go get your chiropractic, go get your back worked on by Dr. Worth. Caden, we're big fans of him.
So I just got engaged, like Colton mentioned a second ago, and I was doing way too many pin drops last night. So the lower back really needs to see doctor. So I might go in this week.
1-800-BACK-DOC. Next, I want to give a shout out to Mattamuskeet Goose Club. Caden, we're big fans of them. We East North Carolina guys. This brand fits you perfectly. They got wallets, they got t-shirts, polos, golf attire, hunting attire, everything in between. Big fans of those guys. Appreciate you for supporting on the pod. And last but not least, Wayne Hardy Law, personal injury lawyer. If you've been in a car accident, you want someone to treat you like family, also win you your case, maximize that winnings, make sure you call 1-800-INJURED. Wayne Hardy and his team will treat you like family. Caden, we're big fans of them.
Huge fans. My bartender from last night might need them.
Yeah, probably does. Appreciate for support of the pod.
One thing Holt and I were curious about, and a couple of people when we do the Collins show, they were curious about. We never had this as when we played. Was an offensive coordinator on the sidelines during the game. The quarterbacks would always talk to Donnie, but the receivers never got to talk to Donnie, the OC. Yeah. What's that like? Does he talk to you guys off the field? Like how much different is that from the beginning of the year to the last 2 games as well?
Man, it helps a whole lot. I'm not gonna say like a whole lot, like he's just telling us what to do, but just having that communication when we come back to the sideline, even when we score, he goes back to the draw board and be like, "Oh, we're gonna do this play to set up this play," and it's like, okay, we can come back and you need to run it this way, or I want you to see it this way. It's like, okay, now I can really have that conversation with him instead of he has to tell Coach Roberts, and then Coach Roberts comes back to me and tells me, and the message is just like not clear, and that's a whole nother thing. Is like sometimes the communication isn't clear.
That direct communication is so key because exactly you said, like Coach Robert, he could tell him something, but it's not from him, and it's just maybe this little thing that he wants to communicate, and that difference is huge. Like I love it. If I was a play caller, I'd want to be in the booth because I'm a guy that has to see the visual. But I like him on the sidelines because I see you guys more amped and fired up, and he's an emotional guy.
He is.
And that fires me up in the stands as well.
Surprisingly, yeah. JDB is surprisingly an emotional guy. Very surprising.
Obviously, with the coaching fire, with Coach Houston being fired, like these coaches too are like kind of fighting for their jobs in a way. I mean, like you guys have just talked nothing but good about them, about how they've been since then. They've been coaching really, really well. You guys have been playing well. But, like, the reality is if Coach Harrell doesn't get obtained as the head coach here next year, then a lot of those guys won't be here next year. The new head coach will bring in his own people. And you've been through a coaching change kind of, so you understand that. First of all, how do y'all think Coach Harrell will be as the full-time head coach? Is that something you would look for? And then also, like, coaching-wise, like, you've talked about multiple guys. Like, is it something where you want these guys here next year, especially you because you'll be – and then you have a different version, view of it because you're not going to be here, so you can kind of, view on it too.
Most definitely. I definitely think that that definitely plays like a role.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like with the coaches, they always have had that like positive energy. Like when I first got here, like Coach Roberts has always been a positive guy.
Yeah.
Like he tells us all the time when we break the huddle, like put positive things in the air and you'll get positive results. And that's ever since he's told me that, like that's always been my motto because like, for example, App State week, I obviously didn't have a great week. After that week, I reset. He told me like start putting positive things in the air. I started doing better like outside of football, like with school, just better vibes. I felt better just as a person. And I think that's another thing with like these coaches, like they kind of just help us like on a personal level on a certain extent to like get us back right into our mental and like reach out. Because I'm from Houston, Texas, so that's 20 hours away.
Yeah, it's far.
Like I don't have any family. I don't have no friends around here besides like my guys and stuff. But like sometimes you just need that older like adult to,
like a mentor.
to really mentor you. So I think Coach Roberts does a great job with that. And then Coach Harrell, he's a great coach. I would definitely not be opposed at all for him being full time. From the meetings to how he sets things up, to how he sets practice up, to how he talks to guys. I mean, he talks from the guys from the top of the roster to the guys at the very bottom of the roster, and that's how it's supposed to be.
100%.
You know, we come in, he daps everybody up, he has that good energy, and he always just wants us to be together, and that's all he talks about, playing for the seniors, you know, playing for each other. And ever since that, I think that's just been our MO, and we just kind of been playing that way.
That's one thing I always talk about. Like, if you've never met Coach Harrell as a fan or
That's
never been
genuine.
around him, he's the most genuine human being
No, for
I've
real.
probably ever met. He's just so nice of a guy. He cares so much.
Yeah, you do.
And it fires you up as a player because we've played for coaches that just, you can tell they're just there for the job.
Yeah.
They don't really care about you. But when you have someone that truly wants and cares for you, he's just a great guy. So I love hearing that. Has he brought the juice from the defensive meetings to the team meetings yet?
Yeah.
He has?
We're a little bit part of BDN. A little BDN.
Dude, you know Donnie, you had Donnie last year,
Yeah,
you didn't,
yeah.
but like the Friday night meetings,
Bro.
the defense would be over there.
Oh,
Like,
my-
it sounds like a club, and you're like about to fall asleep.
And you over here
Donnie's like,
like-
all right, 12
Yeah,
laps.
yeah.
And you're like, bro, I'm falling asleep. What about you,
Yeah,
Winston? How do you
Yeah,
feel
man.
about
I feel like y'all said, like having a coach that you like
Yeah.
and love, like it make you want to play for him.
100%?
So man, I like Coach Harrell, man. He got good energy. Like he said, like I see him talk to whether you're a starter or backup, walk on. I see him talk to everybody, and then I just like the vibe that he has and he brings. I think recruits will like playing for him, honestly, and then like the coaching staff that we already got, like I love him. So I like to come back and see them. You know,
Yeah.
I still got to
For
come
sure.
back and see
Yeah.
again. So I want to see them.
Another
coaching.
thing I would say is like Coach Harrell like lets us bring our own swag.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He lets you bring your own flavor. Like even when I walked in, I had my chain or whatever on. He comes up to me, he's like, "Oh, now I
he
gotta
let
get
you be
my
yourself.
chain."
Let's
Like, he lets
go.
you be yourself. Like,
Yeah, he let you be yourself.
Because he knows like if you like what I brought you here for, I'm not gonna like try to change you into something. Like
Yeah.
you obviously had success being yourself, so like be you. And he kind of just lets.
I
him
love
do
that. Lincoln Riley was really good at that when he got to Oklahoma, too.
Yeah.
That was like kind of a new thing for him.
If I see Coach Harrell on a chain, I'm gonna geek.
He said
told
he
him
about to
get
get
a
one.
BDN
He
chain.
said he about to get one.
I hope he does.
Please.
I told him to get a
I hope he
BDN
does.
chain.
Yeah, that'd be
I hope he's
cool.
not mad at me for making fun of his height.
Yeah. Shoot, Caden, you go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I got something. You guys are one game away from going bowling, and that is a huge milestone, especially because the fan base we'll call a spade a spade. Most of the fan base written you guys off.
Yeah.
They've already written you guys off, and then you guys really changed the course of the season. What is it, Holton? EC's only made a bowl game 14 times in the 100-some years.
22 and 92 years.
Yeah, that's
So y'all
crazy.
like when you make a bowl game, hopefully it's a Saturday or Thursday.
Thursday.
Like you'll be making history in a way, and that was something like we fought for. Like when we first got here, like the program was terrible.
Yeah.
And you can get that because like kind of getting to Colorado, you were like going to try to change it there.
Yeah.
But like making a bowl game special, it really is. So like you guys are going to make history, and don't lessen the fact of that. Like shoot, keep go winning games, man.
Yeah.
You can make conference championship, but like talk about that a little bit about just like talk about like being in the foxhole and like because sometimes social media around here and like these fans like they'll get bad sometimes and like
definitely.
it's very easy. Then they'll get high. There's extreme highs, extreme lows.
Yeah.
Talk about just like staying together in one during those hard times.
Yeah, I would say
We talked about that
social
today.
media, you're going to pay attention to it because it's just natural. But as you get older, all that stuff goes out the window. The people that's, sitting on Twitter saying such and such, they can't do what we do. So,
No.
I mean,
Yeah, I
That's-
think. Yeah, like you were saying, like I don't even be fazed by it really because it's like half of them you've never even played a sport, half of them you've never even touched a college campus.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. I'm not gonna sit here and get in my feelings because at the end of the day, you don't know like how much work I done put in just to get this one moment or like just this one game and how physical it really is out there, how hard it is to really catch a ball. Like people think catching the ball is so easy.
But someone
but
about to hit you too.
yeah,
It's a
when you
different
got
story.
grown men trying to come
Yeah.
kill you, it's not that easy. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And then-
I don't really
Comes
you
to
know,
sports.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then with
that's-
the with
you
the
see
with
it,
the
but-
team, like we played Thursday. If we win, we're bowl eligible. So I think really like from practice today, I think everybody was locked in.
Yeah.
Definitely not taking them lightly. So you really just gotta, put your head down and go to work, man, and can't really take nobody lightly.
Yeah, that's a weird place to play, dude. We played there in 2020. It's kind of like Charlotte Stadium, like really small,
but it's like ghost town.
Yes,
Yeah.
like it's like literally like ghost town. Like they had a little bit of fans. Like I'm sure y'all have played in worse environments.
Rice. Was
yeah,
bad.
I was gonna say Rice is worse.
Rice was
When they
bad.
added them to the American, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
like, I
Rice
just
was
didn't
bad.
understand that. But like that is just because it's a long day travel. The time zone's different. So
Yeah.
like you really got to make sure the guys are like locked in on just like the tiny details, because if you let stuff like that slip, like by the time you get to the game, you'll even be like tired. Like you got to be so locked in with the time change and sleep in, getting into that extra hour and stuff to where like you're ready. Caton Hauser's been balling, and we were talking about it off air. Like you guys got a lot of work with him in the offseason, thinking he was going to be QB1. Like talk about y'all's relationship with him and kind of what he's been doing the last 2 weeks.
Man, Caden, he been hooping, obviously.
Yeah,
he been hooping. But coming in here, when he first came on his visit, before he even committed, I texted him, just hitting him up, just introducing myself and things like that. So I had already kind of built that relationship. But when he first got here, like really on campus, Jet got here too, we just started doing little things. Like we met up at his house to eat. He had us over. We ate pizza. He invited the O-line over. They ate pizza. And we were getting like extra throws like after workouts or whatever on Saturdays, and that just kind of helped us build that trust with him, and build that like relationship, like connection. So like we knew how he threw certain balls, we know how he threw like deep balls, slants. Like for example, like I think Caton throws a very friendly ball, so I know I can run through a lot more catches, without it like having to worry about just smacking straight off my hands, or just having to body catch it. So, those little things like that has helped. But yeah, he's the truth for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I would say me and him, we came in together. So when we were in the portal, we had already had like multiple conversations. End up getting here, and then like Chase said, since we got here, like we just been doing stuff like on the field, off the field, just to get closer and know each other. I know me, Chase, Ant, we put in a lot of work with him on Saturdays, just building that relationship so he knows like if this defender is playing it this way, this how we gonna run it,
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of showing up. He's a good leader, and he's a baller for sure.
He definitely is a good
baller.
leader.
You can go ahead. Were you say something?
Yeah, I think for me, I've never had like a true quarterback that has really led a like offense. So like this year, that kind of been like a good step for me, like not having to be so like worried about what other people are doing and like worry about myself, because the quarterback, that's what he's supposed to do, like control what the O-line does, help the running backs out and stuff like that. And I mean, I'd still do that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't have to worry about it because I trust that he's gonna be on his stuff and I'm gonna be on my stuff and everything's gonna work out.
So you play your
fine.
best, and like that's when playing, like getting experience, like the older you get, like you kind of understand that more and more. It's just like the more you think about other people, like the less you're gonna achieve. But then once you lock in on yourself and you're like, I trust these guys, that's when the team can really take off. Because if everyone's in that mode that trust the guy beside them, the dude, it's crazy, which y'all are seeing now, 100%.
Definitely.
Okay.
You guys got any good celebrations you guys planning for the next touchdown? Anything in the works?
I think we gonna. When do we get to Tulsa? Like 5.
Probably like
but we
5,
play at
6.
nighttime, so like
We
how
always-
our schedule is now, like we got free time, so I think we gonna plan something.
We're gonna plan something. Just wait. We're gonna have something planned.
Do you guys like to follow the trends? Like some weeks you see like multiple the same, or you guys want to be your own stuff?
I don't think so. I think like I remember the celebration we did Saturday. We literally just came up with that before the game.
like right before the game,
right before pregame, like we came up with that. So
he was like, if you score, like I'm gonna knock on the door and then we're gonna kick it down, and run out with the money. And I was like, all right. So he just tapped me and I was like, oh wait, I forgot. So he knocked and we just went
so I
with
told
it,
him like when you having fun like that though, like it make everything better.
It makes way better.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the viral like headstand thing that guy did?
No,
I
I can't.
break my neck. Man.
I can't do that.
No one's gonna bring the boom.
Oh nah, that's what our O-line be doing.
They be doing that?
Yeah.
Nah, they
O-line,
can't be doing
man,
that.
What is that? Like how you
A
do
You know when they
That's
be
a
doing a
cringe
little
one.
thing where they tap their feet or like hold their hand. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, we bring the boom.
Yeah, what he's
nah,
doing right now
yeah.
is like
If the O-line's doing it, don't do it.
facts. But
Y'all both talked about your dads, so I was going to give you a second because like having a good, strong like father figure in your life, someone that you can call and rely on, like I mean that's huge. I mean not a lot of people, or a lot of people get that blessing, but there's also a lot of people who don't.
Yeah, I know.
So just talk about that and y'all's relationship with them.
Yeah, I'd say like coming from where I come from, you know, I had a lot of friends that, you know, their dad wasn't in their life.
Yeah.
But I feel like my dad, man, we just real close, man. I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him, you know, just pushing me and, you know, keeping my head on my shoulders. Gave me a lot of great advice, but also he, you know, he's still a parent at the end of the day. So man, yeah, I'm just thankful for him. That's all I can say.
Nah, yeah, you already know. You
Yeah.
already know what it is with my pops. I really wouldn't even be playing football if it wasn't for him. You know, I was a baseball guy growing up.
Because he was, right?
Yeah, so he was a baseball guy. He played at Florida. Played since I was the age of 4, and I had my mind set on like going to the draft, like going to college and doing all these things. And my 9th grade year, I actually wanted to quit football because I wasn't big enough. So I actually wanted to quit. And he told me just try it out, see how it goes. Like you might like it. And I ended up having like 7 interceptions that year, had a few TDs, and like I was starting to like it because some of my friends were doing it too. And I guess kind of just picked up with it, kind of got good, started like really working at it and taking the time, and it just took off from there. So, I mean, I really wouldn't be here in this spot real like where I am right now if it wasn't for him like telling me like, nah, just give it a try. Like you're not gonna run away from it. Like just see what it like, see how it is. And that's kind of how like I've been my whole life now. I'm not scared to kind of try new things or like, you know, like discover new things. For example, like somebody had told me something, I forgot, sushi, some type of sushi, and I'm not a sushi guy at all.
You just haven't had the right sushi. Then.
Yeah, so somebody told me sushi, and I was like, nah, like that's not me. But I mean, I'll try anything. But if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. I'm gonna let you know I don't like it. But yeah, I love my dad. You know, he didn't have his dad like he was saying. Like some of my friends didn't have their dads growing up. He didn't have his dad growing up. So he's done everything he could for me and all my siblings, my mom as well. And he just held it down for all of us, for real.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That really is.
Yeah,
and
really
I'll ask you one more question. I'll go to Caden. I know we'll let y'all go. But, like, this podcast is brought to you by Anson Belts. Over 10,000 combinations of micro-adjustable, holeless belts. They got new releases, too. Go to ansonbelt.com. We're big fans of them, Caden.
Fun story, this past game day, I opened up a new Anson belt that I got in my original package and I just never put together. I forgot how easy they were to put together.
Yeah.
Probably the easiest belt all time to put together, and it fits like a gem. I love Anson belt.
It does. Next, we want to give a shout-out to Clean Eats. Most of their meals are under $8, so they got pre-made, they got shakes, they got frozen, made to order. Caden, we got to be eating these Clean Eats soon. Caden, you got some big news. Explain why we got to get into shape ahead of what? Wedding season. Caden just got engaged.
Yeah, I got engaged, and I got to knock this skinny fat off me, and I know you got to knock a few pounds off,
I don't
too.
got the skinny fat. I got the big boy fat.
So we'll be eating at Clean Eats because why? It's easy, it's great, and it tastes amazing.
Absolutely. And affordable. Make sure you go to Clean Eats. Last but not least, want to give a shout out to Kyra's Float and Wellness Studio. KyrasFloats.com at 2800 East 10th Street. They got float tank. They got sauna. They got cold plunge. They got salt halo therapy. Caden, you can float as a couple with your new fiance over at Kyra's Floats.
Or you can find me and Holton floating together every Tuesday.
No, we don't. We don't do that, dude. No, we don't do that. Appreciate your for support of the pod. Y'all are both transfer portal guys. Like you started at a previous school and then you ended up here and have loved it here and have been successful here. But like, obviously that world is growing so much even since this past year, since Winston, you got here, and even 2 years ago when you got here. Like, it's growing every single day, it seems like. In a school like ECU, it's going to be important to compete on the national level. Because look, the 12th team, the top G5 school makes the playoff. And that's what these fans want. That's what the players want. Like, what do you think we have to do that we're currently doing, and maybe some things that, you would like to see us do in the future to stay atop of that level or to get to a top of that level to compete for that top G5 spot?
I would say trust the process. I know fans, they think winning is easy. Yeah. But I mean, the coaching change happened. moving forward, the new whoever coaches, they have to lay that foundation down for the team, and then you really just gotta trust the process, man. Everything that's worth having is not easy.
Yep.
So like you just trust the process, man, and win games.
Yeah.
That's pretty. It's no way else around
There's
it.
no special way to do it.
Yeah, I
for
wouldn't
sure.
say like going to the portal, spend a whole bunch of money or you need a whole bunch of guys.
Just find the right guys.
You know, we have a lot of guys, and there's a lot of young guys in our locker room that I like, just because of like how they come to practice every day to work, just their like attitudes and their demeanor around the locker room, and those are the guys that you want to develop. Those are the guys that you bring through your program and you make the program around. So I think they just need to do, like we need to do a better job of taking those younger guys and kind of developing like them into the program and like surrounding like everybody around what's already here.
Yep.
So like not going and just like completely erasing the team or something like that, because if anything, that's just gonna reset what you already put in. And we done put in so much work to get to the point we are now. It's just like you might as well just build off of that instead of trying to go back and reset with a whole another set of people.
100%. I think that's like, Jack Powers. He's one of our good buddies.
Cinco.
Yeah. But he was transfer portal guy too. And like my senior year, we can talk about it a little bit off air, but like my senior year was like full of guys. It was kind of like beginning of NIL, but not really. But it was transfer portal. And like my senior year, we had a lot of guys who had been through since high school recruits and worked their way up the program. And by our senior year, we were like, all right, we've been through so much together. We know what the culture is. We know what the standard is. And then the pieces that we needed, we went in the portal and got them. And I've always said that's like the perfect way to run a program, is because then you'll get consistency. And you're talking about like winning and how hard it is. Like it's going to be even harder if you get 45 transfers every year, because then they're probably going to be gone the next year, or they might not understand the culture. Like whereas if you get high school guys, you develop them, make them understand and appreciative of where they're at, and then you add the right portal guys in that are like key pieces, like y'all two were, that take it to the next step. I would definitely like to see. I think that's how you run a program.
Yeah, but it also depends. I feel like it depends on if a program is wanting to win now.
Yeah, that is true.
Or later.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're trying to win now, you obviously got to go
get older guys.
Yeah. But also, with doing that, you just continue to develop the younger guys that's in the program, because they're gonna have their shot. And then once they're shot, they're going to be ready. Yeah,
100%.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, I think another thing is kind of just getting guys that are good guys, like that really buy into what we're doing, or like really want this. Like they really have a why for this. I feel like nowadays it's just like you get some people that are just here because they can be, or like they just do this because they can, like they're good enough. So I think going in, just getting a whole bunch of guys that are like bought in and have a reason like they're doing this, because those are the guys that are going to play till their limbs fall off.
Yeah, 100%.
Personality is huge.
Yeah.
Can you bring in a guy that meshes with the rest of the guys?
Yeah, I think that's like the first thing. I'm sure like at your older schools or other schools, and then now you hear is like when you first get a transfer, like those first couple weeks, you're always like, all right, what's this guy? Is he really going to lock in? Like, see a guy? Because you're saying it's kind of like here just to be part of college football player, or is he here to make us better? And like those first few weeks, you notice that, and then you coming in this year, you probably know that, and you're like, I really got to prove myself first, and then like let people start to trust me. Because once you earn trust, and you're like, all right, I'm part of this culture now. Now you go out there and ball out on Saturdays and Thursdays and Fridays. So that's just how transferring works nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like when you come in though, I always been I don't really. I mean, I talk, but I like let my work speak for 100%. Me. So when you come in, if you see a person put his head down and grind, and we got the right guy.
Locked in. Yeah. What do you got, Caden?
Yeah, we're past the midway. We're past the midway point of the season. I'm just curious, what's a personal goal for each of you to finish up this season with?
Just want to have fun, man, and win.
I was about to say that, like we said, we want to go bowling.
Yeah, man. A lot of people, man. I mean, we playing good, but like I'm older now, so it's like stats don't really. I mean, people, the real important people, they know what we could do, what I could do with the team, whoever. So really, man, just go have fun, man. We got 3 more opportunities, and that's really it.
Yeah, I think for us, it's just like like you said, like having fun, like enjoying this time that we had. I actually talked about this with my dad the other day. Just, enjoying what like we have like now, because you don't know like what's gonna happen after this. We're just gonna be blindsided.
Yeah.
So enjoying like the time with my brothers, or like Coach Roberts and the guys, and when we're at the hotel, we're joking and all these type of things. Like, it's just a good time.
Yeah.
And like even at the beginning of the season, I said like I had team goals, and we still have those team goals, to go bowling and even maybe make a, like you said, a conference championship. But just doing that, and then I feel like the personal goals will just fall in line.
I feel like when you focus on yourself, like you're
not gonna
really get it.
Yeah,
but if you just out there having fun, playing hard, something good gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, I know you guys hear it all the time from old heads, but like, enjoy it. Like, you will never get this again.
For real.
And like, me and Holton have great lives now, and I see this guy all the time still, but I don't see him as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And we lived together for 4 years. We were roommates. We sat next to each other on the plane. Like enjoy it, because when it's gone, it's gone. You don't get that locker room, like the joking around the locker room back. Like it's truly the best time of your life. Not mean that, but like for that era, that chapter, you can't compare it to anything else.
Definitely.
I don't know about the best. Your life will get better, but like that chapter, like it was so good, and it's gonna create such a an edge to you guys when you're done with football. If you guys ever get in like the corporate world or start your own businesses, you're gonna have such an edge and a grit over other people just because you went through hell already. Right. So just know that, and just always be confident. Take everything all the relationships, all the friendships. Keep that. I know I sound like an old head right now, but seriously,
that's facts.
It's so much facts. And everyone who's told me that, I'm now where I'm at. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's why we've been doing.
We went. Yeah, have y'all ever heard of the Dankery?
Yeah, it's in Durham, right?
Yeah, but that's where we've been going.
We go every week.
We've been going like almost every
like,
weekend.
It's like a little spot in Raleigh. They serve all type foods, wings.
It's good stuff.
Loaded
You're getting
fries.
NIL with them?
Huh?
You getting NIL with them?
Man,
Y'all need to. You need to get a sponsorship.
Yeah, man. Well, we
You
go
know,
every weekend, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure. But yeah, I would say like, and even Chase, like you're going to be here. Like obviously the coaching search doesn't affect you that much, other than like when you come back, you still want to do it. But like, it's probably a lot of uncertainty for you and a lot of those guys who are coming back next year. But like, if you just remind yourselves, and I remember we talked about this a lot, is like, no matter who coaches here next year, like if this group stays together, like we're still going to have a good time. We're still going to, you know what I mean? We're going to have a good culture no matter who the head coach is, because you got good guys around the program. And I think that's really important too, because like going pro ball, like they're going to be faces in and out, but like the people who are like core people in your life, like if you keep them close and like your circle is like full of people who have your best interest and their best interest kind of, intertwined, then you're going to be fine no matter what it is.
No, for real though. Man. That's for real. Like I don't like being friends with everybody, and that's one of the things. Like he was saying, like we both got boring lives, because even today they were asking me like, "Dang, Chase, I didn't see you really the whole weekend," and we had been out, but nobody really saw us because we just do things kind of like low key, and we kind of just like having fun. Like it's not anything crazy, but it's just enjoying our time and like decompressing from football. Because this football stuff, y'all know, like you just going football. Yeah, it just get draining. So like sometimes you just need to step away. Just have some fun. Even when we listen to music, go eat some. It's always a vibe. So I think that's important for real.
Yeah.
For sure. Just your message to Pirate Nation in the last couple of weeks of the season for you, and then of your career really for you. Like, what would you like to say to them?
Man, we're about to get this thing rolling. I mean, we already got it rolling. About to go, beat Tulsa this week. Go bowling, and then continue on the train. So
let's go
Pirates.
Yeah, I would just say, man, we thankful for y'all. I know it's hard, like being a fan, like you don't know like how your team gonna, play when things happen. But man, just just say thank you and stay tuned.
For sure.
Most definitely thank you guys. All the Boneyard guys are people that showed up in the student section in the Boneyard. That was turned. So I mean, if we can run it back one more time this year, we'll really appreciate y'all. So
for sure, man. We appreciate y'all too as former players, man. Keep carrying the torch and keep carrying the culture too, because that's a big one,
y'all.
Man, for sure.
Appreciate y'all for
light
having
it
us.
up. We'll get some other boys on too. We'll get y'all, and then we'll get you on during the draft process too. It'd be pretty cool.
Definitely.
So appreciate y'all.
Yes,